everybody, this is Music Swim Sleep, and we're going to be outside today. I got a recent submission from Jiffy777A about if I were 51,000 feet. Let's go for a walk. Okay, so the first question is, if you suddenly grew to be 51,000 feet, explain how you might accidentally step on some people and what they'd see last when they looked up, and how do you notice that you step on them? Being not as clumsy as you might think, I would probably not step on many people. But I'm not like the drunk dude I saw yesterday at the Red Sox game, or Bella from Twilight. Oh God, we really need a larger Bella. But I would definitely step on someone by accident, just being the person that I am. The last thing they would probably see is my foot, but you know, they might be totally high or something, so maybe the last thing they'd see was trash cans dancing, so they could see a lot of things. The second question was, what people you'd purposely want to step on and how you'd step on them with your giant barefoot. I could name a couple people who I'd just love to step on, but I would probably step on them by jabbing my heel into their heads to squish them like accordions. But for their sake, I'm not going to say any names. Okay, question number 3. Would you stomp on them completely flat into your giant footprint or grind them into the sole of your giant bare foot? I really think it depends on the person. If someone's more recognizable by them being flat, I guess the people who I don't hate as much would probably end up those people. But, and that would mean they would probably still have marked graves, but I think there's a couple people in my life who they would have trouble connecting the little bits. The fourth question is, would you leave a giant footprint everywhere, and why, and what would be smushed inside of those footprints and why? And I said, well, I would most likely be leaving footprints if I were 51,000 feet, but I think it depends what would be squishing them, listening to My Chemical Romance or Death Cab for Cutie. So, just that kind of mood. The fifth question is, what part of your foot would you squash them under? I would most definitely squash them with my heel, and stepping on them barefoot, I guess would make it a lot better because you can feel their bodies squishing. And, it is a sick question. It calls for a sick answer. Don't judge me. Okay, the sixth question is, how many people could you get in one stomp, and explain what type of bug they'd remind you of stepping on, and why and how you would step on that type of bug? Well, I think I'd most relate people to ants, so I guess I would just kind of step on them they're not too hard to step on. I really hate killing bugs, so I don't really have anything against ants, but they just remind me the most of people. Okay, the amount of people I could probably get in one stomp would probably be about 200. Now we're going back. See, that's where we just came from. Okay, I could probably get about 200 in one stomp if I tried hard enough. I just kind of chose that because 200's big and even. The seventh question is, would your giant footprint cover their entire puny bodies and why? Well, my foot is already pretty gigantic. See? But, so I would most likely cover their entire bodies. So they would definitely fit underneath my foot. Okay. The last question is, when would you say this? I'm gonna step on you with my giant barefoot and squash you like a bug into the sole of my barefoot and feel you squish completely flat. Well, one time was if I was 51,000 feet tall. Another time would be if someone was playing Lady Gaga on my guitar and changing every fourth word to hippo while waltzing. Okay, the last question is, also explain how you'd step on me with your giant bare foot, and if you were really mad at me, and what part of your foot I'd stick to and why. Well, I believe in equality, so most likely you would stick to whatever part of my foot the other people did. I don't know if you'd stick, but yeah, I'm very much for equality.